Chapter 1. The Ceremony. Chiron stood before the grand mirror, his hazel eyes flickering with an unreadable emotion, as palace attendants adjusted the last folds of his ceremonial robes. The light blue fabric, embroidered with golden thread, draped over his shoulders, signifying his new role as consort to the Light Fae king. His deep brown curls were adorned with delicate golden chains. Behind him, his father, former royal guard Darian, watched with quiet pride. "You look just like your mother," he murmured, adjusting the golden cuff on Chiron's wrist. There was a flicker of pain in his eyes, memories of a witch who had sacrificed everything for them. A soft knock interrupted the moment. Princess Lyria, Aldrich's younger sister, slipped into the chamber. "You're stunning, Chiron," she said with a warm smile, placing a reassuring hand on his arm. "And my brother? He might be stubborn, but he has always wanted this. He just doesn't know how to show it." Chiron smiled faintly. "I know." The grand hall was lit with orbs of floating light as the high priest performed the binding ritual. Aldrich, draped in royal white and gold, his long blonde hair cascading down his back, stood across from Chiron. His piercing blue eyes held steady, yet there was an unspoken hesitance. Not rejection, not reluctance, just something unspoken. The council watched intently. Some of them, particularly Lord Varen, had long opposed this union. "A witch-born consort," Varen had sneered in earlier meetings. "What does this mean for the purity of the Light Fae bloodline? Witches have proven themselves valuable allies in war and strategy," he continued, his tone sharp with disdain. "But for bonding, for a sacred union, that is an entirely different matter. And that too, a half-witch. Are we to taint the royal lineage with such impurity?" But Aldrich had silenced the room then. "Chiron is of my choosing. His strength has been proven time and again. And if anyone questions my decision, they may speak now and accept the consequences." None had dared. The final words of the ritual were spoken, and yet the marking, the final claim, was not given. The council watched, waiting. It was tradition that an alpha would seal the bond with a bite at the pulse point between the neck and shoulder. But Aldrich simply took Chiron's hands and pressed a lingering kiss to his palm. "We will take that step soon," he murmured. There were murmurs among the nobles, but Chiron simply bowed his head in understanding. Amidst the murmurs of the gathered council members, Aldrich's mother, Queen Lysara, approached with a warm smile. She reached out, her fingers gently brushing against Chiron's chin. "You look beautiful, my dear," she said, her voice soft and full of affection. "I am truly happy for you both." Chiron felt a warmth spread through him at her words, a reassurance amidst the tense undercurrents of the ceremony. He bowed his head slightly in gratitude. "Thank you, Your Grace." Nearby, Aldrich's father, King Roderick, remained seated, his expression unreadable. The moment the ceremony concluded, he rose, his gaze settling firmly on his son. "Aldrich, a word." The hall quieted as Aldrich stepped forward, squaring his shoulders. Chiron watched, his heart pounding. He knew Roderick's stance on their union, knew that his witch blood was an issue the king would not easily overlook. "You have chosen, and the realm will honor that choice," Roderick said, his voice measured, yet carrying an edge of disapproval. "But understand, a crown is more than personal desires. A ruler does not act on impulse. He ensures his every decision strengthens the kingdom." Aldrich met his father's gaze without wavering. "I know my duty, father, and I have chosen not just with my heart, but with my mind. Chiron belongs at my side, as my Virith and as the strength this kingdom needs." A flicker of something, perhaps surprise, perhaps reluctant respect, crossed Roderick's features, but he merely nodded. "Then rule well, my son, and be certain that your choice does not lead to regret." Aldrich exhaled slowly, turning back to Chiron, who had watched the exchange with careful silence. When their eyes met, Chiron saw the unspoken promise there. Aldrich would stand by him, no matter the shadows that lingered in their path. The ceremony continued, the weight of the unfinished bond lingering between them. And when Aldrich led Chiron away from the crowd, away from the expectant stares, Chiron knew this was not the end of the battle, only the beginning.